Hey, this is Liz Bentley, and today I want to talk about not owning our weaknesses or our struggles when people have given us feedback on something. So, let me give you a scenario that comes up in coaching all the time. Someone will come in and say to me, my boss thinks that I struggle with delegating, or my colleagues think that I don't speak up enough and fight for my team, or my team thinks that I'm afraid to address conflict, or my partner thinks that I'm just too quiet and I'm not speaking at the right time, or whatever it is, or I'm too aggressive, let's say that, or whatever it could be. It could be any feedback. And what the person is doing is they're saying someone else thinks they struggle with this. So as a coach, the first thing I ask is, well, do you think you struggle with this? Do you think you struggle with delegating? And if the person says yes, then I say, okay, let's reframe that sentence then. What you need to say is, I struggle with delegating. Instead of, my boss thinks I struggle with delegating. I struggle with conflict. I am too aggressive. Now, why people do it the other way is because it's a way of hedging your bet. It's a way of kind of fixing the problem, kind of admitting you have the problem, but not really, not really fixing the problem, right? Because you're kind of saying someone else thinks this, even though I'm not denying it, I'm not really owning it. Now, the second part of that, the second problem in that is if you're not really owning it, you're never really going to fix it. So if you want to fix this struggle, if you agree with whoever is giving you this feedback, that whatever it is that you struggle with, and you genuinely want to fix it, number one thing you have to do is own it. So here are the tips. Number one, look at the areas that you might be listening to feedback and doing this, kind of saying, this person thinks this, and this person thinks this, and this person thinks this, and not really owning it. Number two, own it. Say the real sentence. I struggle with fill in the blank, okay? But own it. Say the sentence. Say it in your head. Say it to the people that you're working on it with. Take ownership and get that accountability, okay? Number three, none of this is going to change until you own it. So once you own it, start watching yourself make that shift, because now you're holding yourself accountable to actually changing it. You're holding your own internal self, the person in the mirror, accountable. And last but not least, number four, always remember that growth is so important, that owning it might feel hard, but that growing is going to feel so good. And the number one thing you always get from growing is confidence. And everybody needs more confidence. So thanks, and see you next Tuesday.